Older New Yorkers, kids, families, hurting even more. And the small businesses, the mom and pop shops, the bodegas, or even walk in with their food stamps and buy the food. The farmers upstate particularly, all of them are going to be hurting, and many of them are in the room today. And I want to thank you again for lending your voices to this fight. So all we're saying is just unfreeze the SNAP funding. You can do this. Get back to work. Stop the shutdown. Stop taking away health care. Stop taking away food. Just start looking out for the American people. And while we wait for Republicans to see the light of day, I'm not sure I'm holding my breath on that one, my team and I are working around the clock to make sure that families in New York do not miss a meal, because that is a painful concept to me. That's why today I'm announcing I'm fast-tracking $30 million in emergency food assistance funds. That'll support 16 million meals, 16 million. And this will support our food security network, many of your representatives in this room. It'll help keep food pantries stocked and little kids' tummies fed. And that's in addition to the $11 million I announced on Friday. So $41 million combined overall support right now during this crisis. I also point out that earlier this year we fought for, and with the support of the legislature, we secured a proposal to have every single school breakfast and lunch paid for. So, see, in our state, we don't steal from kids. We feed our kids, right? But now with SNAP in jeopardy, what I'm looking at, because I said, what about giving more money in school or more food in school that the kids can take home? Because I'm trying to find a real direct pipeline to the kitchen tables across this state. So I got to work out some details. Apparently the money is only allowed for in school, but I also said, what if hypothetically there's leftovers every day? Can you take the leftovers home? Maybe it's a few extra sandwiches to feed the kids who are not school age or to help out at the dinner table. So I'm trying to get real creative here, my friends, because we are in a desperate situation. This is real. This is real pain. This is not talking about something down the road that is literally the month of November. So I'm going to make sure we can look at that. I'll be announcing very shortly our strategy and our policies. In a couple of minutes, you're going to hear from two brave New Yorkers who will come to the podium and talk about what they and their families stand to lose if, in fact, the Republicans continue down this track and freeze SNAP. And I know a lot of you are watching. You all have stories to tell beyond just these two here today. Let's tell those stories. Let's capture those stories and be able to share them more broadly. So guess what? You can go to our new website, newyork.gov/federal cuts, to tell Republicans
All right, so this was breaking news. Salute Iron Fist. Appreciate you coming through. My strong mod. This just broke out that Kathy Hochul is making sure that New Yorkers, especially the ones that are losing SNAP, will be covered. So this is a big deal because there are some millions that it affects in New York. Some people aren't knowing what to do, you know. So again, I had showed in a previous stream who would be affected by SNAP, and it's really targeting working bodies, people that can work, ages usually 18 and up to a certain age. So this announcement is big, it's huge for New York because the other states, as far as I've seen, have been quiet, other than Texas. And then I'll show because Texas has the largest amount of people that are, they call it food insufficient. I'll pull it up. Okay. So again, this is big. Hunger and poverty, Texas. Oh my God, I just had it on here. All right, Texas. SNAP. on, y'all. Fun times. Nothing fun about this. All right, I'll pull it up in the history thing because I really don't. Anyway, Texas has the largest amount of people that depend on food assistance. So that's why we're hearing about Texas, because that grabbed my attention because it said, well, Texas is feeling it. I'm like, why are they feeling it so much? What is going on? Like, what do you mean? Like, what's different? Last time I checked, in America, we all had the same calendar. So it stops as of November 1st. Why is it affecting them different? I'm going to go to the information that they had on here. Now, this is some AI, but I went to the actual website. Go there in a second. Based on reports, Texas is not only the first or only to experience this disruption of SNAP benefits. We know that, but they are the ones that are most dependent on SNAP. Oh my God, if you don't come on. All right, while I'm getting that video together, like I said, I'll run that again because I know some people are just coming in. Kathy Hochul, Governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, just at least saved a day or saved a month for a lot of New Yorkers, particularly. I'm going to bring it right back because she's specific on how much she's taken out, which is 30 million. And I'll show it again right here.
Nice people. I like them. They also root for the Buffalo Bills, which makes me really happy. But for God's sakes, they're our largest trading partner. We talk about something like housing, why housing costs so much. You know where we get the wood and the aluminum and the steel from? It comes from Canada. So when those prices are going to go up, when you want a new house or a developer is going to put in some affordable housing units, he's now got to raise the price to offset Donald Trump's war with Canada. So see the trickle-down effect on our communities and what we're trying to do? The impacts of Washington that are just so harmful. So on the SNAP benefits, now, Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, doesn't seem to give a damn that we have over 3 million New Yorkers who could go hungry during the month of Thanksgiving. I mean, 3 million New Yorkers because of the shutdown. That's separate from the ones who are going to permanently lose their funding. I don't want to mix this up, but there's a handful that because of the law in place now will lose it for good. But there's also 3 million at risk right now because of the shutdown. Now, I thought she must be a reasonable person. She's a cabinet member. She has the ability to unleash $5 billion in emergency funds. They're sitting right there, not being used. So he wrote a real nice letter saying, you know what? You think you could help us out here? Can you make sure that families and kids have food during the month of Thanksgiving? She says there's nothing she can do. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. There is something she can do and this administration can do right now. So, because they won't, just in a matter of short time, we're going to have older New Yorkers, kids, families hurting even more. And the small businesses, the mom and pop shops, the bodegas, or even walk in with their food stamps and buy the food. The farmers upstate particularly, all of them are going to be hurting, and many of them are in the room today. And I want to thank you again for lending your voices to this fight. So all we're saying is just unfreeze the SNAP funding. You can do this. Get back to work. Stop the shutdown. Stop taking away health care. Stop taking away food. Just start looking out for the American people. And while we wait for Republicans to see the light of day, I'm not sure I'm holding my breath on that one, my team and I are working around the clock to make sure that families in New York do not miss a meal, because that is a painful concept to me. That's why today I'm announcing I'm fast-tracking $30 million in emergency food assistance funds. That'll support 16 million meals, 16 million. And this will support our food security network, many of your representatives in this room. It'll help keep food pantries stocked and little kids' tummies fed. And that's in addition to the $11 million I announced on Friday.
All right, so you see it, y'all. Governor of New York, Kathy Hochul just opened up $11 million last week, too. I'm late about knowing that, to be honest. And she just is in the process of releasing $30 million for New Yorkers. So as far as I see, my native land, I mean, not land, but my native state is on it. They're moving fast. They want people to feel secure. Again, SNAP is being affected for those that are able working bodies. Other than that, I've seen no other loss of SNAP, meaning if you're disabled, you can't work. A child has medical issues and it qualifies for different things. They're not touching that. It's other people's stuff. But to be cut off so abruptly from SNAP is a big deal to anyone, even if you're expecting a paycheck, because that's a certain amount of money that is part of your monthly expenses. So this affects a lot of people. Appreciate those that are coming in and, just try to be respectful. So it's appreciated. Whenever I see someone say hello, I always say hi back. If I don't see it, I apologize. I usually type it back. I'm glad to have my mod in the building because it helps me a lot. All right. I'm going to show some more of that, but I did want to show you guys a map real quick because this shows what I was talking about. So it looks like Texas is not the one that uses SNAP the most. Cali is. So you see way on the West Coast, California uses SNAP the most. This is a Newsweek map. So if you look at the top, it tells you the number of participants. The lowest number is the lighter to the whiter, the lightest of the bright red. Then the darkest red shows all the way up to like 5 million and whatnot. So if you look, California has the most number of SNAP recipients. And Texas is like second-ish or third, right in there with Florida and New York. So these are the places, these are the states in America that uses the most SNAP. It's good to know that, because what people like to do is, oh, ain't nobody poor, I ain't poor, you poor, you poor. Either one of us has SNAP, had SNAP, or knows somebody that has SNAP. So stop trying to feel yourself so much and be a part of the solution and not the problem with your cocky, weird selves. Now, you get a little of the darker, it gets darker here, right? But I showed y'all the darkest is California. Now, when I think of Cali, a lot of us think of Hollywood. You think everybody got money and all that. Y'all got the most SNAP in California. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how people sit on a high horse and stuff, but you got to really look at numbers. This is what I do. And I apologize for saying Texas was the most SNAP. Maybe at one point they were, but it's Cali. And what I noticed was it depends on the narratives. Once again, people are pushing false narratives. So it depended on which website I went to, they're throwing each state under the bus. That's how I look at it. They're like, oh, no, so-and-so, that state got it. That state, give us the facts. You know what I'm saying? Or we're going to force you to give us the facts. So go to the right site and get the information, especially before you go, going crazy or getting upset. But this is serious because this affects people's households, the monies, the food. Like I said from day one, the Trump administration can't just totally remove all of SNAP. A lot of people still think that. Some of y'all in the chat, do y'all still thinking that it's getting rid of everyone's SNAP? Don't matter if you're not asking if you're receiving it or not. Are you under the impression that that's what they're doing? Because they're not. They can't. Even if they wanted to touch SNAP, even if somehow they were able to affect SNAP, do you know everybody would be going crazy? It would be a ripple effect, okay? Because think about the people that don't receive SNAP. They go in the grocery store, get your stuff, pay for your stuff, or use your credit cards. A lot of people are maxed out on their credit cards. Yeah, on a high horse, but you living off of credit cards for the past 2 years. See, I know because I look at all type of statistics. I just narrow down my focus on this channel to at least try to narrow it down. But I look and study so many different things, but I want it to come out correct and understandable when I come on here. We got to rip through the fat. We got to rip through these lies and just get to the facts. So, like I said, I'm kind of lost track, but that, like I said, this is a map right here. This is what we need to know. This helps us. You also need to know that you're covered, you're straight. Now, the moves that Texas has been making is they are setting up stations for food deliveries. They are making it known that people can be a part of giving or receiving food in Texas. So they're setting up things like that now because they know that a lot of people in Texas are going to be hit and highly affected by this. All right. Oh, okay. So HBE, let me just look real quick because local news, they're the ones that have good information too. They're the ones that are more grassroots with things. And then it goes up to the other media outlets. HEB donates 6 million to Texas food relief programs as SNAP benefits risk disruption. So that's good. I never heard of them. But okay, so they're working on some things. You know what I mean? But like I said, you can't just get rid of everyone's SNAP and then do it so abruptly. You're gonna have so much chaos in the streets. You think y'all saw looting when who was it? Rodney King got beat, the resurrection, insurrection, or whatever January said. Any riot you think of would be nothing like the havoc you would be seeing wreaked with people not having food on a table. You go ahead and play around with food. You're going to see the animals and everybody come out because it wouldn't just be for the SNAP people. It would be for other people coming to shop. I could just see violence and chaos. They're going to come and take that food. You either going to provide it for them or they're going to come in those stores and they're going to take it. And guess what? I'm getting right out the way. We not out of the woods yet with a lot of things. This is still survival of the fittest. This right here is showing you survival of the fittest. If you run a store and you have a grocery or food, you need SNAP to be working too because a lot of your patrons pay with SNAP. So imagine no SNAP. Walmart is going to complain. Target going to complain. Any of your local grocery stores, they are going to be complaining. Even now with some of that, I'm pretty sure they're going to complain because they're expecting those benefits too. This is all recycle of benefits that are available to those in need. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So y'all have to be careful. You go to the grocery store. I'm just telling you, just do your thing, do it. You know what I mean? And be careful because you can't do that. You're going to start seeing, we see people's teeth show on YouTube. As soon as you start getting donations, their teeth start showing. They start showing their true colors. People are going to do what they got to do to eat. This isn't clothes. This ain't red bottoms. This is food. And yeah, I'm about conserving. I'm about looking where we have wasteful spending and things like that. Yes, we all need to be looking into that too so we can understand why we do have budget cuts when they come. But even with cuts, something such as vital as food should never be taken so quickly. Usually when you're getting assistance from anything from the government, you have some grace period after. They give you like a month or another month or so with your insurance or whatever it is. They don't just cut you. The reason they'll cut you is if you never responded, you didn't recertify, you didn't, do something that you were supposed to do. Other than that, they're not going to drop you like a bad habit like that. So what the Trump administration is doing, they see some wasteful spending, and I personally think that they also would like to, they're taking a look to see some possibly find more illegal immigrants rather, going through the systems because all that data is in there. And some of the questions they ask on the applications are different now too. They used to say, "Oh, are you a farm worker? Are you seasonal? Are you an immigrant? Yes or no? Are you a citizen?" Now you put immigrant. They like, "Are you legal or not?" They not playing. I'll play some more, and then I'll show something else.
To help keep food pantries stocked. and little kids' tummies fed. And that's in addition to the $11 million I announced on Friday. So $41 million combined overall support right now during this crisis. I also point out that earlier this year, we fought for, and with the support of the legislature, we secured a proposal to have every single school breakfast and lunch paid for. So, see, in our state, we don't steal from kids. We feed our kids, right? But now with SNAP in jeopardy, what I'm looking at, because I said, what about giving more money in school or more food in school that the kids can take home? Because I'm trying to find a real direct pipeline to the kitchen tables across this state. So I got to work out some details. Apparently the money is only allowed for in school, but I also said, what if hypothetically there's leftovers every day? Can you take the leftovers home? Maybe it's a few extra sandwiches to feed the kids who are not school age or to help out at the dinner table. So I'm trying to get real creative here, my friends, because we are in a desperate situation.
Absolutely. That's what we all need to be doing too. And I appreciate what Kathy Hochul is doing. I don't always praise her either, but you got to give credit where credit is due. I'm hard on people because life is hard. And when you're in a position, I hold everyone accountable. So that's my channel. Anyone new, if you're returning, hopefully you caught on to that by now. I take shots at anybody I feel needs to get shots verbally, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say something real quick too, because I used to work in a school district also. They have programs where children can take food home on the weekends. So as far as I know, it's just the weekends, but they do have a lot of immigration help too for families of immigrants and things like that. And I'm tough on immigration. I don't agree with that. I feel you should know who you are. You should know what's going on in this country. You can get assistance, but you have to be legal. And then we'll go from there. So there's still things that I just still have my own values on, but you got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is about. And there are programs, particularly I know in the public school system, where if families need extra assistance, you reach out. Every school has social workers, and they have a team of people that helps make sure they provide food for families that are in need.
This is real. This is real pain. This is not talking about something down the road that is literally the month of November. So I'm going to make sure we can look at that. I'll be announcing very shortly our strategy and our policies. In a couple of minutes, you're going to hear from two brave New Yorkers who will come to the podium and talk about what they and their families stand to lose if, in fact, the Republicans continue down this track and freeze SNAP. And I know a lot of you are watching. You all have stories to tell beyond just these two here today. Let's tell those stories. Let's capture those stories and be able to share them more broadly. So guess what? You can go to our new website, newyork.gov/federal cuts, to tell Republicans how their policies are affecting you and your family. Raise up your voices, my friends. This is how we're going to have an effect. And I want this done all over the country. We will not be silenced while they take away food from our kids. They think these cowards think they can turn their backs on us, but we won't let them. We're going to make them see and feel the real pain they're inflicting.
See, and then it's a lot of passion. We're going to be seeing more and more passion coming out of people because you don't have no choice. Been telling y'all a couple of years, make our voices heard too. You will be heard. Start trying to help with solutions, y'all. It's not about just complaints. We got to help with solutions. I'm looking in the chat. Tell the Democrats the Senate to vote for clean. Okay. After Democrats, you elected. No. But do y'all go after Democrats? Y'all elected. Da, 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 da. All right. And stump presidents. What is that? Texas is a big place. It had it. Yeah. Or what you said, Charles? Texas being as big as it is, I can see that. Yeah, it's a huge state, but I didn't know they had that much population. It's their population is like 29 to 30 million. And Texas is a big place, but I'm still a little fascinated by the fact that California got the most SNAP. You know what I mean? But they be over there acting like they're just rich. They got everything. It just, I don't know, man. It's just funny the facade people use. But when times is tough, you're gonna get to what you gotta get. And it's survival of the fittest. And if people are pushed to make they teeth show, that's what's gonna happen. People hungry too. Don't be surprised somebody try to take a bite out of you. I'm telling you that. Now, I like to nibble on people, but that's in a different kind of way.
I know it seems very desperate out there, but I also must know there's hope. I believe in hope. And everywhere I go, from my hometown of Hamburg to Harlem, Buffalo to Brooklyn, I see spirited, resilient people who are rising up, who are standing up, using their voices. We will not cower to these injustices. That's not the spirit of New Yorkers. It's not who we've ever been. And I want them to know that I'm standing with them, shoulder to shoulder, as we fight for their families, with their friends and communities. And I believe in this country. I believe that this is a temporary fever, perhaps, that has seized America. But someday, the health will return. We'll get our country back and get our priorities back on track. We've never lost sight of them here in New York. But clearly they have in Washington and in districts, 7 districts here in the state of New York, represented by people who just don't give a damn. We must turn that tide, my friends. So out of darkness does come light and hope. And that's what I'm going to leave here today, seeing all of you as people who care so deeply, our elected leaders, but also those who are on the front lines of making sure that God's children, God's families, God's people have what they deserve. This is our moment, New York. This is our moment to be heard. And I thank all of you for being on this journey for us. And we'll look back at this day and say, this is when we said, we're taking back our country. Thank you very much, everybody. And I know, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. A man who needs no introduction, especially here, the fighter of all fighters, our great Congressman, Adriana Espaillat.
Thank you, Governor. We are blessed to have a fighter like
Definitely a fighter. A lot of people know by now too. This is live coverage of Jamaica being hit by Hurricane Melissa. On another note, this is known to be the worst storm on the planet this year. I showed some of it yesterday before it happened. Um, at least what they were predicting. So it's been hitting a lot of the West Indies area, Jamaica, Haiti, and the DR, the Dominican Republic, is being hit as we speak, or as I speak. So there's a lot going on with that too. We're going to be needing funding. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking at everything, and this isn't a coincidence. What's going on with the shaping, the shifting of our positions, whether it's political, whether it's just hate. um, I still feel that it has to do with our spiritual warfare that's been going on. Also, if you look at astronomy, if you're interested in anything to do with astronomy, even if you're not, you should be. Check me out sometime on my channel. I'm Kiy NY7. I know the avatar is so teeny, but I'll be looking up in space, getting messages, and I come and I research things. Some things I feel like I'm receiving, I put it in. Some things I'm actually seeing, and I show y'all. So hopefully, some of y'all are wise enough to want to stay in tune because you're going to be aware of things ahead of time and before it even happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that happens. We don't need no tarot cards for that. I've been reading on here and there. I'm reading things before they've been happening. Things with the planes going down. A lot of things I've been calling out before it happened. So try it out for yourself. Try me for yourself. That's all I can really say. Um, what I was going to say, oh yeah, about that is there's a lot of disasters going on, and like I showed before too. That's pretty much what I wanted to show though about the snap part. What I've showed before too is different things that are going on in space, and some things were being kept away from because of the government shutdown. So if you guys haven't known or don't know already, the Three Eye Atlas is in orbit. It's been in our solar system. It passed by Mars, and between today and tomorrow, it should already be at the sun. What astronauts and an amateur astronomer like myself wanted to see some footage, really wanted to see pictures of this thing. So the government shutdown is affecting SNAP. Um, Things are affecting our weather, which is out here in space, has a lot to do with it. NASA has been affected with funding because of the government shutdown. So this is an example. This is a video that I put together, at least being an example of what we're seeing, what's going on. That's supposed to be Mars right there, and that's this three-eye atlas. People are saying they think it's alien craft. Some are saying they think it's natural. So there's just a lot of things going on, y'all. And I'm the person that's going to connect the dots and at least try to figure things out. And I've been figuring them out. But with y'all help, with you guys giving input, sometimes in the comment section, whether it's live or the replay, it's not about just helping my channel, and it does, and I appreciate it, but it's helping us. Like, there's nobody else talking about anything like I do. Yeah, there's some things you may find like, oh, well, so and so kind of think like you. Nobody really thinks like me, but I can back up everything I say. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to just have you agree with me. I want you to just see and build with me. You can come and bring information that can help, questions or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So that's what we do here. Got my mod Iron Fist in the chat too. I laugh too because there's a lot of things we don't agree on, but it's all good. Like, you know what I mean? Don't feel like because you don't agree with somebody, think you don't like them we pass all that, you guys. Like, it's way too much destruction and death going on, but there's also miracles that happen all the time too. So let's get past embarrassed. Let's get past being too quiet. Let's get past too being too dang on loud also. But let's just have compassion for one another, but open our eyes a little more, because if any time, the time is now to really say, hey, I think I believe in something bigger than myself. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time for you to step out on faith, whether it's religiously. Maybe you're non-religious. Are you scientific? I'm both. Like, I'm not somebody that's just a scientist with things. In some ways, I'm a scientist. In other ways, I do have a belief. I have the Holy Spirit in me. But it's meant for us to make connections with one another too. So if y'all agree, you'll consider subscribing, hit like sometimes, come through, chime in if you can. And, otherwise, there's other ways to support the channel too. If you're interested in any donation to my channel, I'm independent. I do put a lot of time and effort and finances and things. Almost everything you see costs me money. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm sitting here with free everything, and I can't stand that. I mean, people making money, and it's like, yo, put money into yourself, invest in what you're doing and showing people on here. So that's what I do. Also, before I go, I want to say that's the Three Eye Atlas. We are right now, today is October 28th in America, Tuesday. And there are 7 active comets right now, y'all. 2 different comets are currently zipping through the Three Eye Atlas. So if you want to look at it like the Three Eye Atlas is in the middle, but then there's a comet above and below it, and it's going through its tail. And it just changed its tail also, the closer it's been getting to the sun once it passed Mars. So there's amazing things going on. I'm here to talk about it. They're not going to stop me from talking about it. They're limiting my views. They're not viewership, but to be able to see what we want to see and show y'all images. But there are some images I'll be back on at some point this week, I'm sure. And we'll talk more about what's going on too. Because right now the Three Eye Atlas is in a position where we can't see it because it's behind the sun. So it's out of our view at this point. But again, we have cameras on Mars that should be able to at least catch some of the pictures of the Three Eye Atlas as it passes. Also, the European astronomy sites, they have information too. So that's where I've been obtaining information while NASA is stuck in a shutdown. And what sucks is NASA should have more funding too. NASA asks for, a good amount of money, but they always receive a fraction of it. We need more money into science, y'all, so we could see what's going on outside of our planet that will help us understand what's going on in it. So that's about 35 minutes. What's going on, y'all? Y'all saying anything in the chat? Hello, Glenna. What Iron Fist say? He was laughing because you said about nibbling on people in a different way. But I agree, differences should be put aside. Yeah. Maybe I should be a vampire for Halloween just so I can have an excuse to bite on people. I promise not to draw blood. I promise not to draw blood. Just a little nibble, nibble on you. If I promise not to draw blood. I'm doing a song. Can I come nibble on you? Ow! Trell, I'm about to have a song next time you see me. Also, Trell, too, let me know if there's something you wanted to hop in and chime in on. And you still got to get back to me on your poetry, too. I ain't forget. You got to stop this. Let me know. If you come up for a hot minute, whatever, let me know. And sometimes you might have a certain day or time that works for you. Let me know because I'll see if I can meet that with you. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, you're going to get up here and read us some poetry. All this mess going on, we need some uplifting or whatever it is, some sharing. You know what I'm saying? Something be uplifting. You might be going through it, but it's sharing. Come on now. Forgot all about that. Yeah, all right. I ain't forget. Yeah, my mod, he writes. So one of these days, we're going to have him share his thoughts with us or something. That would be very nice. I really want to hear some poetry from people too, not just like rap, just different things. I want to hear what people have to say. Like, I'm excited about it. All right, but thanks for coming through, y'all too. I appreciate it. I mainly was zooming in on the snap, and then of course I wanted to, which I did show, was what's going on with Hurricane Melissa. And like I said, this is known to be the worst storm, at least so far in 2025. But this is also supposed to be the worst that Jamaica has ever had. Oops.
Monster Category 5 hurricane, 185-mile-per-hour winds that are now moving over land with gusts topping 220 miles per hour. And this is making Melissa now the second strongest hurricane ever in Atlantic history, the strongest ever to hit Jamaica.
For places near the eye of the storm, a nightmare scenario is unfolding. You have catastrophic winds tearing through the island like a slow-moving tornado, one that
Wow. So they said there's several months worth of rain coming down. Last I heard, it was like they were expecting the speed of the wind to be like 175 degrees. Now they're saying I said degrees, miles per hour. But now they're saying it's over 200. So it's one of the worst. So we'll be staying tuned in with that. And dang, that's a lot, man. That's a mess. So New York is saved. They're working on things in Texas. I haven't heard about any of the other states though, y'all. And like I said, I'll show it again. California has the most SNAP participants. What are they doing then in efforts with everything? California SNAP. I just wanted to take a quick look. What's going on? Agriculture Secretary warns SNAP benefits could run out. California suspect accused of fatal. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Also, you guys, if you notice when you Google something or when you're online, they're switching titles to get you to click on it. But if you read the details, it has nothing to do with the title. So we're just living in a strange time right now. You know, we got news people lying just to get you to click on stuff and whatnot. I'll be moving around so fast. I don't have time to be playing around with them.
Getting their federally funded food assistance. The executive director for the County Welfare Directors Association of California joins me now, Carlos Marquez III. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Ashley.
I mean, Carlos, with 5.5 million Californians relying on these food assistance benefits, I mean, what can they basically expect this upcoming month?
Well, we are usually in the role of reassuring people about the continuity and reduce poverty, but we need to sound the alarm as the administrators of these programs at this moment in time because the consequences are significant.
Yeah, so they're very significant over there. All right, so yeah, it's a lot going on. Yeah, Ivar, this Ivar the blind cat. Yes, absolutely, it's a lot going on. Snow snap. All right, consider subscribe. You know, y'all know what to do. I feel like a repetitive record because what's happening is people are getting spoiled with YouTube. Because even if you go to some channels that have a lot of views, it's like the likes are so low. Everyone used to, know where the like button was at. Now everybody's just, I think, rushing through the content. At least that's what I think, and that's why it's just things are looking the way they're looking now. Yeah, Ivar, why are you looking at me like that? That's the way. I don't. It's like it's set up like that. So I'm here to do what I got to do. I'm still gonna keep doing it. Some things I'll keep to myself because I am working on a case and things like that, and so that we can have improvements and less bias and fairness on YouTube.com. So I'll just say that in a nutshell. Yeah, absolutely. Why are you looking at me like that, Avar? All right, y'all. Take care. Be safe, and yeah. I will check y'all another time. For real. Iron Fist. Let me let me see. All right, I think that'll be all for now. That'll be all for now, y'all. Peace.
Kiy NY7. Kiy NY7. What? Sorry.
You know what? JoJo, what? JoJo, what? Somebody give me the light, give me 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 light, light. Hey, 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 yeah. Light, light. Oh yeah, light, 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 light. Yeah, light, light. How did I
Coming up too, I have some information that I want to share too on Kamala Harris and Corinne Pierre.
A romantic night in a Wienermobile. What?
They have been turning on Biden, and it seems like they're turning on Democrats. It's pretty interesting. So I got some stuff coming up that be interesting. We'll have some fun with the infotainment with that coming up. And then also I want to speak more on the NBA and some of the scandal with that. And just things that's been going on in communities with people just like turning on each other, but all up in like civil service people, cops, like is making me feel like we're in the movie Departed. So last time I did Devil's Advocate, another great movie, a classic. I tied that in with the church and how some things been going on crazy with the church and all that unholiness. Now we got The Departed coming up. And I got another movie where I'm going to reference movies and sometimes show little parts of that because it ties into what we're talking about. On my last live stream I did maybe a couple hours ago, I showed AI because Amazon is letting go of 500,000 people straight up, more than that. And they're replacing people with AI. It makes me think of the movie I, Robot. So that's why I added that to that live stream. think I'm gonna do a compilation to just show y'all I'm just making connections with things. But other than that, all right. So I got those things coming up just to name a couple of things that we got going on. All right. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Any questions or anything, let me know. And always feel free to chime in. That's what helps live streams. And together we can make things more worth it and solve problems. That's what I like to do. All right, y'all. I'm Kiy NY7. Take care. Peace.
God damn, what was that? That a fly? Damn. So, that's a moth.